Angie, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Angie, we know that. I am an erotic writer and a momager. I'm really a manager of all sorts. And I'm a businesswoman. I've always been a businesswoman. When I was a little girl, I was a businesswoman. And I just take care of people, take care of my family. I believe in believing.
You're a multitasker like myself. All right. How do you handle your own career while handling the careers of your husband and also your children?
It's very difficult to do that because I have a lot of children and I have a lot of husbands. So everybody, meaning that they all command so much of my attention that the only time that I really get to look at my own writing is probably in the middle of the night when I'm asleep and I'm dreaming. I have physically picked up a pad and written with my eyes closed, and in the morning I try to understand what is it that I wrote. So my stuff, you know, that is my handicap, that I put myself last.
What made you want to become a writer?
You know what? I wanted to become a writer when I was a little girl. I always was a great student, but I would get an A in my class, but I would get unsatisfactory when it came to participation. My teacher said she is daydreaming too much. So when I was daydreaming, I was confused. I didn't know that I was creating, and I wouldn't want to say what it is that I'm thinking about because I didn't want to be a liar. So if you write a story, although it's fictional and it's something that you're creating, sometimes, to me, when I was a little kid, that meant you were lying. If I said that the pizza got up and danced, I created that. I wasn't lying about it. So I was a child when I realized I wanted to be a writer.
You said daydreaming. Who did you want to be?
When I was a kid, because I always saw myself as this major bossy diva, I wanted to be Miss Piggy.
Miss Piggy, elaborate.
I still want to be Miss Piggy.
Why Miss Piggy?
Because look at Miss Piggy. She's so glamorous and in charge and well-loved. As bossy as she is, as determined as she is, she's so respected and everybody knows exactly who Miss Piggy is. Young and old, we all know Miss Piggy.
Yeah, we do. Tell us a little bit about Sinfulicous.
Sinfulicous is a story that I like to, it's a collection of stories. It is, it's a bunch of vignettes that I have turned one of them into a movie actually, and Sinfulicous started because I would always write stories and I would leave a cliffhanger, and I would have parties where I would get a bunch of women together. We would read the story, and then at the end of the story they would have to say what they think happened. So I was trying to wake up the creator and everybody. So Sinfulicous is it is a very classy written, and I know a lot of people will say, oh, I do things that are classy, but I've been coined the queen of cliterature because my writing is not filthy, but it's very, very sinful and delicious. So it's Sinfulicous, and it attracts a very large female audience as well as a male audience because it's so very tasteful.
People always make comparisons like Zane or 50 Shades of Grey. Would you consider yourself like a Zane or 50 Shades of Grey, or would you consider that you have your own uniqueness?
Well, you know what? I like Zane. I like her. She's a very nice person. I am absolutely not a Zane writer. I don't have anything bad to say about her or anybody, but my wordplay is a lot different from hers. I tend not to use some of the more crass language. When it comes to 50 Shades of Grey, I love E.L. James. I would love to be E.L. James. I really enjoyed 50 Shades of Grey. The thing that I appreciate about it is that it is artful. The thing that I would say that I'm not like is that it's kind of redundant. It's really repetitive in a lot of ways, but you got to make 3 books, you know. I am a bit more, I'm a whole lot more tricky than they are. So, I'm just different. I'm different from them. You know, Zane is not E.L. and E.L. is not Zane, and neither of them is me, and I'm neither of them. So I'm just sexy like they are. It just depends on what your fetish is to them.
You said one of your vignettes became a movie. Are you looking to do more screenplays?
Absolutely, that is my fantasy. I'm not a person that wants to sit in front of a camera. I love to create and make. That's my thing. I love to nurture. That's why I'm a mother of so many kids. I love to nurture and raise and bring up to be. And with my stories, I've written them, and now I want to nurture and raise and bring up to be a silver screen film. I know it will be. I absolutely know it will be. I mean, if the Chronicles is on the silver screen, I absolutely know that Fresh Blackberries, Platonic Fingers, The Wine Stacker, A Big Cup of Sugar, I know that all of those will be on the silver screen too, because why not?
Platonic Fingers, that sounds interesting. Tell us a little bit about that.
Platonic Fingers is a story that starts off innocently enough that it addressed something that a lot of us have dealt with, falling in love with your best friend. His fingers are to be platonic, but it doesn't always end that way. We all have friends. Like as a woman, you have a best friend that's a man. There's a reason he's your best friend. It's not because he tells funny jokes. It's because you like so many things about him. So you've probably done everything with him aside from made things unplatonic, and vice versa. A lot of men, they befriend women because they like her in so many ways. So the story is basically about caramel candied apples and platonic friendship. Okay?
Very good. Keep it on the genre just a little. Expansion on the Sinfulicous. You know, like Candy Burst, you know, she has a line of toys and everything else. Do you see the Sinfulicous brand branching out to different things?
You know what? It absolutely could, because what a lot of people don't know is I used to have my own company where I sold adult toys, and my company was called The Vanity Chest. And with that company, I decided to write a story actually called Spark. And with that story, it's about a toy. Actually, I have two stories. There's another one called Silicone Bishop, where the woman is trying to decide how to make a perfect Valentine's Day gift for her man. And the only thing that gets her going is Bishop. That's her nickname for this fun part. And so I did the story about her making a silicone mold of him, and then when he was away on a business trip, she kind of had fun with his silicone mold. She recorded herself and she put it on an iPod and she gave it to him, and it was me on track number 3. So while he's exercising or listening to music or whatever, when track 3 came on, it was everything he remembered. So I do think that I would love to incorporate toys into what I do, because I have a couple stories about toys.
Very good. Changing gears, congratulations. After you just, started your imprint and everything else with Universal, Bungalow Universal. Tell us a little bit about that and where you see it going.
You know what? That is another main vein of creation. And it's my lane of being creative. And that was a sheer blessing. It was like winning a lottery ticket, honestly. It wasn't something that I asked for. I wasn't looking for it. My capabilities was recognized, and the offer was made, and we negotiated, and we came to a very, very nice agreement, and I felt like, wow, this is exactly a lane that I want to be in, because being at Universal Bungalow, we all know that it doesn't just stop at music, which I love music. I love real music. Some people say, I love Prince, I love music, I love old instruments. So that right there is wonderful, but it also can parlay into films, it can go into books, it's a major, major feat, and I was able to get it, and I'm happy.
I know because I was there, and it's spoiler alert, but tell us some more about the artist that you're signing or signed.
Well, the artist that I have signed his name is Alvester Martin, and he is beyond anything my imagination could have come up with. He is talented, he is beautiful, and he is beautiful. I love everything about this guy. He's so driven and driven. He's dedicated and dedicated. He's double anything you could think of. And he is so packaged up and ready. I'm telling you right now, he's exactly what the world has been missing. And I mean, he feels really happy that I wanted to sign him. I feel so happy that he even wanted me to sign him. And when I had him to come over and he sang for presidents of the company, they were like, whoa. They were really blown away with him. So he is a professional dancer. He's danced with, you know, the likes. He's danced for Beyonce for years. You should look at his Instagram. It's at always Alvester. When you look at that, that will speak for itself. Okay, I don't even have to break all that down. But the one thing that he's done is for the king of music, the king of pop, they call him, Michael Jackson. He paid homage to him in his latest music video that they spent millions of dollars on. And you better believe it, baby. Alvester is full on hanging out of a Jeep, shirt flying, tattoos beautiful, and he's mean mugging and he is rescuing the girl. And everybody is going to be like, oh my God, I have to know him. And he is the nicest guy ever.
What do Angie do to make, you know, to have a relaxed moment?
Relaxed moment. I like to listen to grass grow. That's real quiet, huh? No, when I want to relax, honestly, I leave Hollywood and I go back home. Because really, at home, I don't hear anything. And that's exactly where I want to be. I go home. And then I come back. But I go home to be quiet.
I always ask myself this because, like I said, we both multitaskers. If you couldn't do anything that you was doing, and we do so much, what would you do?
If I could do anything that I'm doing right now?
No, that you're not doing right now. Anything else? If you lost all the capabilities that you're doing right now, and we do so much, what would you do?
I would move to the middle of the country somewhere, or probably Africa or something, where there was no electricity. And I would just grow apple trees and eat apples because they're free on my land where there's no electricity.
So what's new on the horizon for yourself and the whole clan?
You know, there's so many things that are popping out of the corners. I'm going to be surprised with a bunch of things that happen, but I have my plan is 2 words. I have a 2-word plan. You ask people, well, what's your plan? A lot of people have this whole big old paragraph. I have 2 words. Be everywhere.